2024 Bad Boys Ride or Die. A little gimmicky, but fun. Let me tell you all about it. The audience was laughing throughout the entire movie. Will Smith still has it. Such a likable actor. Great screen presence, incredible chemistry with martinLawrence. This is a Bad Boys movie. You know stuff's gonna get wild, and the movie delivers. This retains the spirit of the Bad Boys franchise. A few obvious things. This script is weak. Story doesn't make much sense. The movie starts strong, but then hits a bit of a lull, and that's how this movie goes. Great moments and then narrative stuff that nobody really cares, and it's not very well done. This movie has a lot of predictable moments and sayings for an action movie. It has a strong 90s style, and you feel it. At the same time, the Bad Boys franchise got completely taken over by Latino culture. To a certain point, I understand. This takes place in Miami. Few other places in the USA have as many Latinos as Miami. I gotta say, Latino music sounds so good from big theater speaker systems. I might be slightly biased. For some reason, this movie has shaky cam. For action scenes, why? Why are we still doing this? I know it was cool and popular in the early 2000s, but it's been a long time since then. Please, let's stop it. I want to see the action and not get a seizure. This movie has a ton of cameos. It could almost be called Bad Boys 4, full of cameos. From people that add little to nothing to this movie. From social media influencers to musicians and TikTok stars. Why are they called TikTok stars? I don't know. That leads to the next point. Why do we have a bunch of mediocre actors in this movie? Will and Martin do a great job, and they make up for the bad story. The surrounding cast, for the most part, are bad and forgettable. Who hired them? Did Will Smith eat up the entire budget for casting? Everyone else seems like they got hired on food stamp budgets or something. They are not believable. The editing of this movie is weird. Part of it are edited like a movie, other parts are like a music video and maybe a movie trailer style editing. There's also what I would call YouTube editing because I've seen this stuff on YouTubers' videos. You can see this also in the trailer when there's a gun and it gets thrown and it flies in the air and it looks really cool on YouTube and it turns around and stuff like that. But on the big screen, it feels funky, at least for me. My buddy loved that scene and he was telling me it was awesome. So maybe that's just a me thing. Some of the big scenes are also in the trailer. Obviously, it's only snippets, but a scene is happening and I was like, I'm pretty sure I know what's about to happen. Not only is the setup bad, but we literally see how this goes up in flames in the trailer. Part of me would like to see some growth and evolution happen to these characters. They're full-grown adults still acting like teenagers. I understand that this is a big part of the movie, but we're not in 1995 when the first movie came out. Times have changed and the audience has grown up. They have kids now. The sentiment around cops is also very different from the 1990s. Purposeful, reckless behavior from cops is frowned upon in today's environment. I don't have answers to make this movie better, just some thoughts. I think some might also miss Michael Bay. The cool thing is to hate on him today, but Michael is an expert in visual awesomeness. There are a few people that can direct action, explosion, and spectacle like Michael can do. He is notorious for being weak on story, but with a good writer, maybe he should return to the franchise. Maybe that is just nostalgia speaking. If they plan on making another Bad Boys movie, I would be vigilant on working on narrative. Otherwise, this movie could run into the Fast and Furious problem, where it jumps the shark and possibly loses its audience. At the end of the day, the movie asks to suspend believability and relies on a lot of convenient moments for things to work. The elephant in the room is watching Will. After, well, I was talking with a friend a few weeks ago, and it's hard. I understand if others don't see it this way, but separating the art from the artist is important. As much as Will Smith is the face of this franchise, there are a ton of others involved that worked really hard to make this happen. There is a moment that a slap happens, and I think it's a little nod to the audience about what happened. It is now in the past, maybe it's damage control, you decide. My theater was packed and the audience was laughing and having a good time. Will and Martin had some great one-liners. Maybe this is what we need to kick off the summer, some good, dumb fun. Film is subjective, it hits us all in different ways. What did you think? Remember folks, you owe it yourself to watch great cinema.